Hello guys, Red here, and I am going to talk to you now about the Blood Phantasm build. This is a full physical attack build. I've done the Bone Golem video already. If you want to go and see it, go down into my playlist below and take a little look at that. And inside that Bone Golem video as well is probably, well, there definitely is going to be a little bit where I talk about Iratus's talent tree, which corresponds with a physical build. And as you can see, I've pretty much got three physical guys here. So you probably would be wise to go and take a little look at that. It's not very long; it's like 10 minutes or something, but it does talk about the problems with this build, and I don't want to repeat myself. So let's just move on to the Blood Phantasm. Now, I've got mixed feelings about this guy. He has really low initiative and he doesn't have amazing damage. And he does some things which are quite good, and he slots into that third position. The second position is okay for him as well, but I'll cover that in a minute when I go through his tech tree. But he's okay though, he's okay, he's alright. He's pretty much physical. He does one magical attack, and he has a pretty good buff. And I don't really use his rage or his wrath skill that much. So I did have to put purple items on him pretty quick, because the problem with this physical build is there's not a lot of healing flying around. And upgrade. No. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a little look at his tech tree. So up the top we've got Impale, and this does physical attack, does 80%, which is pretty good really, because most do 60, 70, so for initial attack that's not too bad. Now it does attack 2 as well, but the problem with it is you've got to be in attack in position 1 or position 2 to pull it off. Now with this build they do kind of swap around a little bit, because the Headhunter does have a skill that moves him backwards 1, which I do use a little bit, and then when he moves up into that second position I do use the skill a little bit, so it's not bad. Now I would have gone for the initiative, but I've managed to get initiative up to 8 from a couple of items that he's got. I'm pretty sure there's some around here, 2 initiative there. And of course he gets 2 from one of Iratus's buffs. What is it? It's in here somewhere. Is it Ira? Yeah, that one. If you got 25 wrath, everybody gets +2 initiative, which is pretty good, because generally you are running around. It's only like one turn when you haven't got 25 wrath, really. I went to the right because not only does it give him +4 luck, it also gives him 200% critical hit damage, and I think his physical stays the same. Yeah, so that's not too bad. On the second line we have Hate Eternal. Now this moves, he can cast this from the last 3 positions, and it does move him forward. It's a magical attack which ignites somebody or sets somebody on fire. It only does 40% damage, but of course damage comes from the physical, well, I don't know, let's say physical skill, physical whatever, but he draws damage from his physical strength or whatever. He does set a target on fire until the battle ends, which is pretty good, really. But you got to watch out, of course, because there are a lot of characters or a lot of enemy that do debuffs. And the only problem with it is it does move him forward 1. And I don't really like it when characters move around that much. But setting somebody on fire until the battle ends is pretty good. But the damage is quite low. Now if you run, he would slot into an Iratus build if you were doing a fire. There's like a fire build on Iratus. Iratus deals 30 physical damage, additionally deals 50 physical damage if the target is set on fire, which might slot in well there, but since I haven't done that with Iratus, it's not too thingy about for me. But he does have other stuff which I use more of anyway. I've gone to the left to give him +6 accuracy. And now we can see he's on 120%, so he hardly ever misses really. And if you go to the left as well, Iratus gains plus 12 wrath, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. 12 wrath. That's alright. So it does get used a little bit. I will be doing a playthrough on the last dungeon after this video actually with these 4 characters, and I can show you the ups and downs or the pros and cons. And on the third line we've got Transfusion, a stance. When receiving direct damage, restore vigor to all allies equal to 50% of the attack. Now I don't use it that much because the problem is you never know if you're going to get attacked, so it's kind of a waste. I would have gone off to the right for a +1 physical and +1 dread, although I don't really use dread on this guy. I don't even think he's got a dread attack apart from his wrath skill. So, but the tree on the left, when receiving direct damage, restore 75%. I just felt that was just a little bit better. And as you can see, he's gone up to 110 vigor. So 10 vigor is alright, I guess. He doesn't take too much damage in the third position. It's when he moves into the second position, that's when he starts to get focused. But generally don't have a problem with this guy's HP. And then on the fourth line it does move, no, but that you can only use that in the third, second and third slots as well. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. If you see something that's going to do an AoE attack, like a golem, and he's going to do, you can't knock him out of his stance, then it's good to hit it then. The golem does kind of attack on all 4 of your guys, and I've noticed that sometimes it actually returns all of the damage that the golem did. So it has its uses. Mark of Retribution. It moves you backwards 1, and it's a buff that marks a minion for 2 turns. Any enemy that damages the marked minion takes 10 to 20 magical damage. So pretty much it's a buff you put on your own guys, and any damage that he gets, it will be transferred back to the damage dealer. For 2 turns. Don't use it that much, if I'm honest. Again, you just never know who's going to be hit, and I'd rather do damage than try to negate damage. So, and then on the right hand side of his tree, or the right branch, there's a +4 physical. And is there any difference? Yeah, enemies attack the marked minion more often. That's pretty much it. 10 to 2. Yeah. So if you mark somebody, if you mark one of your own guys, he ends up taking damage more. Now I find this marked on your own guys to be a little bit unreliable, like trying to tell the enemy to attack one guy. I find it doesn't work as well as I would like it to. So it's not something I use a lot, but it does move him. If you're desperate to get moved back 1, it does actually move him back 1, which is, I think, and that's the only, he does have a -2 there. 1 forward. Yeah, so if you want to move back into your original position because you push forward, you can always use that to go back and buff somebody up. And then on the 5th line, I think this Blood Phantasm might actually go well with, is there a Lich or a Shade? I think the Shade has an ability to return damage as well, or I'm not sure. I can't remember. Then on the 5th line, Chains of Anger. An attack from the last 2 positions, and it deals physical damage 60% to anybody on the opposite team. It deals additional 5 damage for each buff and debuff on the target. So if a guy's got a buff and a debuff, it does an extra 10 damage, I guess, and 60% damage. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, this. I do use it quite a bit because you can attack anybody on the entire team. So if somebody's moved to the back position, it does do a bit of damage, but it's not fantastic. I mean, 60% is 17 damage, right? So it's not great. And then his Wrath attack, I don't really use that much. Oh, coming off from the tree. Did I talk about that tree? Yes, I did. Coming off the tree, a +1 to his armor. Deals 5 damage. Yeah, so 80%. So if you come off to the left, it gives you an extra 20% to his physical attack, and that does pimp it up a little bit. So 80% is not bad. I mean, I think that is 80%. So it's actually his best physical attack. That doesn't do more. No. So it is his best physical attack, that. And of course, you can hit anybody in the opposite team. So this is the one you'd probably be spamming quite a bit, and maybe the one that sets him on fire. Yeah, I mean, he's not the best character, Let's just finish it off. And then the Phantasmal Assault, I don't use it that much. It does move him back twice, but obviously the Headhunter's Wrath attack is pretty good, and the Bride of Iratus' Wrath attack is good, and the Bone Golem's Wrath attack is good as well. So she comes last when it comes to Wrath attacks, because they doesn't really do a massive amount of damage. Attacks twice, dealing 75%, 20-22 physical, and 75%, 13 to 14. No, it doesn't do two physical attacks and two stress attacks. It does one physical and one stress, I think. Although I haven't used it that much. If it does two physicals and two stresses, that would be awesome. But since this isn't a stress build, it's not much use doing stress damage. So yeah, not brilliant, I don't think. A +3 attack and a +2 initiative. She needs the +2 initiative because she's only on 8. You need 8 is a pretty good number. I keep talking about 8, and I think 8 is the magic number because I think that there's an artifact where minions with at least 8 initiative at the beginning of the battle get 8 accuracy and 8 evasion, and I find that 8 is a pretty good number because it generally means that they're going to go first in pretty much 90% of the battles. And that's it. That's it. She's not fantastic. I'm actually thinking about swapping her out for the playthrough and going with the. I want the Dampier. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll give the Shade another bash because I played the Shade a bit, but I wasn't really enjoying it that much. Miss the Banshee, I gotta be honest. She's pretty great for that third slot. She's the best character for that third slot, the Banshee. Amazing. I'm not really fussing. I'm not really liking the Lost Soul or the Vampire, though I'm gonna have to play through with them. I think I'll do that. Take them two next. And the Wraith. Yeah, the Ghoul. Not fussed. But anyway, okay. So I think that's pretty much it. We'll wrap it up. And the physical build. You can have a little look at my tech tree, I guess. It's just oops, just check it out. Get off. What am I doing? Talent, rather. Yeah, so it's pretty much there to see. I wouldn't have taken this. I probably wouldn't have taken that either. So save yourself 3 points there and take something else. This is pretty good, Finger of Death. The problem I got with this build is trying to get mana during battle. Actually, you can't get any mana during battles. None of these characters actually return mana. This is a problem. See, when you're doing a physical build, you have to take the Iratus statue, and there's also something in Iratus. I did say go to the thing about the video, didn't I? I know I'm covering it, but and this as well, +5, which is pretty good. Right, okay, well that's it, I guess. So I'm going to do a playthrough now with these 5 on the Elven Dungeon, the 3rd dungeon. Please go down and have a little look at the playlist, see if there's anything there. Do you fancy taking a look at? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you real bloody soon.